Jackson Miller had always been the kind of guy who did things on impulse. At 26, he worked a dead-end IT job in downtown Denver, lived in a cramped apartment with a view of a dumpster, and hadn't been on a decent date in 8 months. So when his coworker dared him to post the most ridiculous dating profile he could think of, Jackson didn't hesitate. Looking for someone out of this world, he typed, grinning at his laptop screen. Must be able to handle intergalactic warfare, enjoy long walks through nebulae, and appreciate Earth's superior pizza. Bonus points if you've conquered at least 3 star systems. Humans need not apply. I'm ready to upgrade. He hit post on the obscure dating app called Cosmic Connections that his friend had found in some dark corner of the internet, then promptly forgot about it while binge-watching alien invasion movies. 3 days later, Jackson's apartment exploded. Not literally exploded, more like reality hiccuped, and suddenly his living room was filled with crackling energy and the smell of ozone. When the purple smoke cleared, a woman stood in the middle of his destroyed coffee table looking absolutely furious. She was beautiful in a way that made Jackson's brain temporarily short-circuit. Tall, with silver hair that seemed to move with its own ethereal wind, skin that had a subtle luminescent quality, and eyes like captured starlight. She wore what looked like armor, designed by someone who understood both protection and aesthetics, all flowing curves and geometric patterns that seemed to shift when he wasn't looking directly at them. "Which one of you primitive bipeds," she said in a voice that carried the authority of someone used to commanding fleets, "dared to invoke a summoning ritual disguised as a mating request?" Jackson pointed weakly at himself. That would be me. Jackson. Hi." The woman, clearly not human, stepped closer, and Jackson caught a whiff of something like starlight and gunpowder. "I am Lilithara Vexnaros, destroyer of the Crimson Nebula, conqueror of the Zephyrian Empire, and guardian of the Outer Rim. I have laid waste to entire civilizations and brought peace to 1,000 worlds." She paused, tilting her head. "And apparently I am now contractually bound to your ridiculously specific courtship ritual." "Courtship ritual?" Jackson squeaked. It was just a dating profile. Lily pulled out what looked like a holographic tablet. According to Galactic Romantic Law subsection 847.3, any being who accurately lists the achievements, preferences, and requirements of another being while expressing romantic intent has initiated a binding courtship contract. She scrolled through the glowing text. "You specifically mentioned intergalactic warfare. I have conducted 17 successful campaigns. Long walks through nebulae. The Andromeda Memorial Gardens are lovely this time of cycle. Superior Earth pizza, which I am now legally obligated to sample. And conquering 3-star systems, I've conquered 47. Jackson sat down heavily on his couch, which creaked ominously. "This is insane." "The insane part," Lily said, settling gracefully into his ratty armchair, "is that you somehow managed to breach dimensional barriers with what appears to be a primitive electronic communication device and a dating algorithm written by someone who clearly never read the Interdimensional Communications Treaty." She was quiet for a moment, studying him with those unsettling stellar eyes. "Tell me, Jackson Miller of Denver, Colorado Sol System, why did you specify that humans need not apply?" Jackson felt heat rise in his cheeks. I wanted something different. Something exciting. Earth feels so small sometimes, you know? Like there's this whole universe out there full of amazing things, and I'm stuck filing IT tickets for people who can't figure out how to restart their computers." Something shifted in Lily's expression. "You wish for adventure. I wish for purpose," he corrected. "For something that matters." Lily was quiet for a long moment. Then she smiled, and it was like watching a star being born. The Zephyrian Empire is attempting to resurrect itself. Their new emperor believes humans are nothing more than clever animals, suitable only for slavery or elimination. They plan to begin their conquest with Earth. Jackson's blood ran cold. "When? 6 standard days?" Lily stood, and suddenly her armor began to glow with contained energy. "The Galactic Council has been debating intervention for months. Politicians." She said the word like a curse. "But a binding courtship contract, that changes things. I can't abandon my potential mate to face annihilation." "Wait, you're going to help defend Earth? Just because of a dating profile?" Lily grinned, and Jackson realized that expression on the face of someone who'd conquered 47 star systems was both terrifying and incredibly attractive. "Oh, Jackson, I'm not just going to help defend Earth. I'm going to show you why humans are the most terrifyingly effective species in the galaxy. You just don't know it yet. She pressed something on her armor, and suddenly Jackson's apartment was filled with holographic displays showing star charts, fleet positions, and tactical data that made his head spin. You see, most species develop technology first, then adapt themselves to use it efficiently. Humans did something unprecedented. You developed adaptability first. You're the only species that can eat almost anything, live almost anywhere, and turn any situation to your advantage. You're also the only species insane enough to strap explosives to your bodies and charge into battle while screaming war cries. That's not entirely inaccurate, Jackson admitted. The Zephyrians have superior technology, but they've never faced an enemy that thinks like humans do. They expect logical, predictable responses. Lily's grin widened. They're about to learn why the rest of the galaxy calls humans the beautiful madmen of soul. Jackson found himself grinning back. So what's the plan, O destroyer of the Crimson Nebula? First, Lily said, pulling out what looked like a space-age pizza cutter, you're going to show me this superior Earth pizza you promised. Then we're going to save your world and probably start an interdimensional incident in the process. As Jackson grabbed his jacket and keys, he couldn't help but laugh. He'd wanted adventure and purpose. He'd gotten a galactic war goddess with a legally binding romantic contract and an alien invasion to repel. Sometimes, he reflected as Lily casually disintegrated his apartment door rather than bothering with the lock, impulse decisions really did pay off. The universe was about to learn what happened when you threatened a human's planet while he was on the best first date of his life.